We've got to pull this together. We've got to make sure this works. Look, we've got to continue to ask our own generation, as well as the younger generations, to make the sacrifices to pull the country together. We are on a cliff's edge. We've taken a step back. We didn't put in Kamala Harris. But that doesn't mean we've escaped what could be an avalanche into the abyss. To pull this together requires a kind of devotion. And what Americans have lost in this culture of materialism and consumerism for decades, with the sexual obsessions of the 1960s. And these are the kinds of axioms that dominate the Democratic Party today. But what's been lost to the culture as a whole is that where great meaning is found in those even greater senses of sacrifice. This is what has revived a kind of patriotism in Russia, the fight for Russia's existence. That's what we saw emerge from the American people. It was like the scales fell from their eyes, like when Paul, when he finally makes it to Damascus, and he's blind, and he finally is able to wash his face, and the scales fall off his eyes, and he can see. The scales fell off the American people's eyes in 2020. They began to see their society for what it was. They saw the corruption of the medical institutions, of the media, the incompetence of so-called academic or government experts. It all became clear as day. So even people that voted for Joe Biden in 2020 are today leading Trump supporters. Because even if they were still not clear what the situation was, that moment, and then that election steal, which was so blatant, began to set in. A momentum was created from that moment. That momentum is undeniably the most powerful factor we have of pulling together and saving and rescuing our civilization. And we have to make sure we hold the Republicans in Congress accountable, that they have to have a commitment to the country, not to their ideology. Yes, we have to deal with the budget. Yes, we have to deal with the debt. Yes, we have to deal with the deficit. But right now, you've got to get out there and compel the American people to get behind you in a full majority. We've got to march in a fundamentally different direction, not tweak a few buttons on the control panel. We've got to overhaul the entire system. And if we do that, we are going to secure a completely different potential in the world as a whole.